Hey friends. Here are 25 things that I learned that you need to know now that I am 25 years old. I'm growing up, okay? I'm really growing up. I feel like a lot of these videos kind of seem like cliche, but I really hope that there's something in here that maybe you haven't heard before that you can consider implementing into your lifestyle, because Lord knows I wish I would have known a lot of these things in order to be a little bit further in my journey of life. Everything happens for a reason, so we're not even going to stress it, okay? So let's get straight to it. We're going to start off with the spiritual aspect in life. If you are not spiritual and you would like to know more, definitely keep watching. If you feel like you're against it, I totally understand, but it never hurts to learn more. So stay here if you will. So number one is allowing God to be the center of your life, to be your leader, to be your protector, your guider, your everything. Just allowing God that special place in your heart, because he literally created you and sculpted you to walk his earth. And we're here to figure out what our purpose is, okay? Like, that's one thing. And I feel like if you have God, you will definitely be a lot further than most. Doesn't mean that the road is going to be easy, but you're going to see how he's going to bless you. You gonna see. Just wait. It's a patient game. It's not even a game. It's a patient lifestyle. And that's one of the fruits of the spirit, is to be patient, just so you know. The second one would be is to always pray. Always pray. Because if you don't, that's also you not including God in the center of your life. But also knowing that you're not going to know everything. And sometimes the things you don't know about are the things you're unsure about. You need to pray. And even if you think you know whatever, pray on it, because sometimes we don't, and more times than not we don't know everything, and we don't know for sure, and we don't know. It's a lot of uncertainty on this earth, but as long as you pray and you have God, top tier. Don't forget it. The third thing is that there is life and death in the power of the tongue. If you talk to yourself nice, you're gonna get nice. If you doubt yourself, you're gonna get failure. And I mean, back it up. We do fail sometimes in life, and that's how we learn. Failure is also a good thing, but when you consistently doubt yourself and you don't speak highly of yourself, you're never gonna grow past that. You talking like that to yourself is going to keep you, if not at that same stagnant level, or lower. I have said this now in several of my videos. Number 4 is that have persistence in praying. Those things that I was saying you're unsure about, don't pray about them once and think that, you gave it to God type of thing. There is persistence in praying. If you want to, go look at the parable of the persistent friend and the parable of the persistent widow. In those books, there are examples of people who were consistent and persistent with asking for things. And it was the same thing. They needed something. The people that they were asking, they were not trying to give it to them. Okay? They was like, why is you at my door? Why is you bothering me every day? Like, but at the end of the story, those friends answered anyway. They answered the door. They gave the other person what they needed, right? And so the point of that story is, if you're persistent with people, what makes you think that God won't answer your prayers? If people on this earth can answer you, what makes you think that God won't answer you? Always have persistence in praying. So if you're going to pray all the time, but also keep praying about those things you're uncertain about. Keep praying about those relationships that you think are failing. Because if you've been on my channel before, you know my family life, girl, I'm in prayer. Okay, I'm in prayer. Don't forget it. Okay, number 5. I gotta read this one because I wrote it really well. I got notes. Okay, always. Number 5. Whatever gift that God gave you that constantly stays on your mind and you aspire to do it, keep at it. Plant the seed. Be consistent in nourishing it and allow it to grow. Clock it. That one's so good. I think it speaks for itself. If you neglect that seed, it's not going to grow. It's like working out. If you constantly go to the gym, you're going to see results. But if you go for 2 weeks and then you stop, you're gonna go back to how it was. That new body that you think you was getting is gonna go back to your old body. Okay? You want that new body, gotta keep going for that new body. You gotta keep nourishing your body. Period. So now I'm gonna give you tips on health. Number 6 is you want to nourish your body with things that God has provided on this earth. Okay? I'm speaking holistic medications. I'm speaking fruits, vegetables. I'm speaking green juice, fruit juice, all the things. Now, I don't do all of that all the time. So that's something we're actively working on. But constantly get those things into your body, because you're feeding your soul, you're feeding your body, and it's going to function better. You're going to have a long-lasting life when you do that. The 7th thing is do balance. Oh my gosh, everything needs to be done in moderation. When you're eating things, if you eat a burger every day, girl, you're going to grow. Your back is going to grow, okay? Your stomach may grow. It's not may, it will. And girl, I love me a burger. I do. I eat burgers a lot. But we're working on moderating that, okay? you gotta do one step at a time, but I digress. Same thing goes for sugar. I personally have a not so great relationship with sugar. I love the way it tastes. It's addicting. So I'm really trying to have sugar every other day. At least those added sugars every other day. If I do have sugar every day, that one day that I'm not supposed to have the added sugars, it'll be like fruit, natural juice. Those will be the sugars that I'll be getting. But all that added stuff, no, baby. Number 8, of course, I've mentioned it a few times. We gonna work out. Exercise. It fuels your body for the day. It literally cleans your brain out. When you're stressed or you're anxious or, you're tired, believe it or not, working out does help a lot with that. I don't know the science behind it. I don't know the spirituality behind it, but it really does something for you. And I think that if you are a person that struggles to work out, I think you should think about people who aren't even able to get a chance to work out right now. There are people who are laid out in hospital beds because of diseases or disorders or things that are taking them out. So if you have the ability to move your legs and move your arms and lift some weights or run or do any form of physical activity, by all means, take advantage of that, because we may not have that forever. We don't know what we're going to look like 60 years from now. So if you start to take care of your body now, girl, you are going to thank yourself. Number 9 is definitely having a routine. Girl, I done messed up when I went to college and I dropped out. Girl, a routine flew out the window. I don't even know what that is anymore. So right now I'm in the process of trying to find something that works for me in order to get things done the way I need to get it done. That means routine in what I'm going to eat, routine in when I'm going to work, routine in when I respond to emails, when I take care of my dogs, and this is an everyday thing. This is a daily routine. You have to make sure that it's organized in order for you to reach some form of progress in your life. When everything is done sporadically, some people can function like that. But ideally, a routine would be better. So I think that's something I wish somebody would have told me, like, more firm and like more strict. Have a routine. Don't forget it. Do that. Number 10, vitamins. Girl, get your vitamins, because that's another thing that's going to give you a lot of energy. If you're staying in the house a lot and you don't get a lot of, vitamin D, girl, you need vitamin D, especially if you this color. Girl, we lack that more. So get you some vitamin D, get you magnesium for your bones, like calcium, whatever, iron. If you run low on your blood, girl, get you some iron. Most women struggle with that because we bleed every month. So take care of yourself. Get you some vitamins. It's going to help. Number 11. Budget. Girl, I know some of us have a really unhealthy relationship with money, and I get it. But if you like me and you grew up on fear of money, of like not having it, you gonna be okay. But don't be fearful of money either. But if you have a budget, that's gonna show you how much you can spend and how much you need to provide for yourself. Also, how much you can save. Okay? You gotta think about the future too. Sometimes emergencies happen. Your car can break down, your tire can go flat. Girl, somebody may break their leg and you may have to pay like a deductible of insurance. Maybe your dog is sick and you didn't have pet insurance, and girl, what you gonna do now? Because them vet things is expensive. Okay, you have some money saved. All right, I use an app called Ramsey. It's by Dave Ramsey. Is it David or Dave? I think it's Dave Ramsey. The app is so useful. It's so beneficial. It tells you how much money you spent in the month. You can literally organize everything down to a bill, down to what you spend on your dogs, down to what you spend on your cats, down to your hair products. Like, you can literally pinpoint everything, and it's going to help you get your money together. It's a yearly plan for me. I spend $120 or $30 in a year for it, but I feel like it's so useful. They have people helping you do your taxes. They have online classes where you can learn how to get out of debt, people to help you with your credit. It is an amazing platform, but I've only used it to budget, and that is good enough for me. Like, I love it so much. Every transaction you can track, and you could, put it in those categories. Like, girl, Ramsey Plus, if you want to sponsor me, I'm right here. Number 12 is to save aggressively, okay? I know I just said, budget, right? But also, the way, if you live in California, you already know. You need to be saving aggressively, because we don't know which way this economy is going. I just heard about this big, beautiful bill. It ain't beautiful. It's ugly as hell, okay? We gonna put it like that. It's ugly as hell. But saving aggressively under 25, you can get a house sooner. You can pay off a car sooner. I wouldn't recommend you to be like everybody else and get the nicest car as soon as you turn 20, 21. I don't recommend you to be moving out in an apartment unless that's what you want. If you want an apartment and that's something that you aspire, go ahead, by all means do that. But if you're thinking bigger and you want assets and real estate, think about investing in houses. Like, think about investing in stocks. There are things that I wish that I would have done when I was 20 that I maybe could have made a little bit more money on, or I could finally start making money on something. There's just some things that I wish that I knew, or people that I was also around to help me with stuff like that. So if you have people who have knowledge about those things, talk to them, save aggressively so that you can have things to invest into. And of course, emergencies, like I said earlier. Okay. Number 13 is save to have fun. That was something I struggled with. If you have a fearful attachment to money, I would say that's what the budget is for. Save to have fun. You can go out with your friends. You can do dinner. You can do drinks. You can, if you're in the club phase of your life, you can go to the club. Like, don't do too much. But you can go to the club. Or if you're, supporting people, or, some things require money, whatever. Save to have fun. And I think that's something I wish I would have done if I didn't have a fearful attachment to money, because I had the money. I just didn't want to spend it. But I feel like in my brain, if I would have saved for maybe $400 out of the month, that might be a lot for how much I made. But let's be more realistic. $200 to $300 out of the month to go spend with my friends. I feel like I'd have more memories with my friends. Everything doesn't cost money in order to have fun or share a memory, but trying new things is fun. Go make a carpet, go do pottery, go do a Pilates class, go do a bunch of things that you've never tried before. And do it with a friend, or do it by yourself, whatever. Save to have fun, okay? 14, the responsible thing to do. Prioritize your responsibilities before you agree to leisure activities, okay? That's just, I'm good at that. I've done that, but I would advise anybody who's my age or younger to prioritize the things that matter first. Don't start, spending on things because you think you need it or you like it and you say you want it. Make sure things that are more important, like bills, anything that you need for your lifestyle in order to live, take care of that first before you go thinking about buying something else that's leisure or you didn't need it. Number 15, I did say this earlier, but invest. Study and investing. They don't teach about this enough. Ask people who are older or people that you've seen when they have more houses, more properties. They invest in stocks, or they day trade, or anything of the sorts of like that. Ask them about it and learn about it so that you can figure out how you can maximize your income so you don't have to slave every day of your life. Because I wish I would have did that. Okay. Number 16 is to create a circle of people who genuinely love and genuinely support you. Sometimes we don't always grow up having the most supportive family like we thought we would have. And therefore, if you're in that same boat as me, create friends and make sure you discern like if they're good friends for you, because those friends can become your family, and that's where you can find your love. I feel like there's nobody that knows you better than your friends, because that is who you are genuinely yourself with. At least that's who I am with my friends, and how my friends are with me. That is the full version of you. Sometimes with family, they don't get the full version of you all the time, especially if you don't get along with them. But if you do get along with them, they probably do get the full version. But if you don't get along with them, create a circle of people who love you, who genuinely support you, and they want to see you win. Number 17, something I really struggled with and still do, but actively learning to get out of it, is people pleasing will only hurt you. Okay? So when it happens, learn to be direct and respectful when those situations occur. Because sometimes people be like, you can say no. And then when you say no, it's a problem. Or when you don't have the time for them, it's a problem. They say, you say no to that person. I can't believe that person, would ask you when they know you're doing X, Y, and Z. But then that same person that says they say no, and you finally use the no on them, they're like mad about it. You can't control people's reactions. So if they get mad, then that's something that they need to work on. They need to grow up. They need to mature. And hopefully you guys can circle back and, talk about it. But if not, girl, do what's best for you. Feeling obligated to do things for other people is going to hold you back. It's going to hold back what you have planned for yourself in that day or that week. If it's something that you really don't want to do, say it with your chest. You don't gotta be disrespectful. You be like, no, I can't do that right now. And I don't know if it may sound disrespectful to somebody else, but you were being super respectful and you just stated your answer. You can't. You won't. Period. Number 17 is to set up days to see your loved ones. When you get past 18, your schedule gets busy. You go to college, you start working, you may be in a relationship. It's a lot of stuff going on past 18 after high school. So if I was younger and somebody would have told me, I would have been more intentional about planning and scheduling time to see my family, to see my friends. Doing everything so sporadically for me, it was almost like a drain to do it. And those days where I was available, your girl was tired. So actively plan and coordinate with your family or your friends. Let's go to the beach. Let's go hiking. Let's go bike riding. Let's go roller skating. Let's just go hang out at the park. You don't have to do everything that costs money. And let me say this. I'm coming from a perspective where I'm speaking on myself and my life. If you're anything like me and you're introverted and you don't like to go outside, this is going to be for you. I'm also in a season where I've isolated myself so much in order to try and level up my life. And in this isolation period, I realized I could have spent a little bit more time with some family and friends. It's good to have personal connection and, see everybody. Number 19, if people stress you out more than they love on you, let it go. Let it go. Shelve them, put them on the shelf, say hell no. I think that as people, as humans, we don't know when to walk away from a stressful situation, and I'm not saying do it all the time, because there are arguments and there can be healthy arguments that help you get to a breakthrough in your relationship with people. Some healthy arguments help you grow. So I'm not saying as soon as it gets tough, leave. But I'm saying if there is more stress than positive or stress than love in a relationship that you have with someone you care about, or they care about you, or vice versa, y'all care about each other, but it's not healthy, let it go. And that's okay. It's going to hurt like hell because you've loved them. and you know, try so hard to do whatever you wanted to do for them. Once you realize that you no longer have that stress, you no longer have that lingering feeling of wanting to be attached to them, you start to gain peace. And you just pray that, you know, maybe you guys can have a better relationship. Or maybe that season in that friendship or that family friendship has come to an end. Number 20 is definitely to learn the fruits of the Spirit. I don't know if I'm going to say them all, but there's joy, peace, self-control, kindness. That's 4 of them. I think there's 3 more. Your girl forgot. Love. I feel like I forgot the other 2. I think there's 7. Or, yeah, I don't know, girl. But those fruits of the Spirit help shape you to be a better person. And if you read those over and over, you will learn what the meaning of love is. Number 21 is to try making genuine networking connections for your career. I know networking is not the easiest thing, especially if you're shy and you're introverted. I've actually never done this before, but that's something I would tell my younger self to do, because I'm in a place where I do everything by myself. And I just feel like you can't do life on your own all the time. I think that's where I kind of messed up. So I would advise somebody who's younger is to make different connections. Number 22 is that Jesus served us while he was here. So it is our job to also serve each other even while he's not. It's important to give and not only consider yourself. We're supposed to be humble, loving, and nurturing to others. And if you can do that while you're here on this earth, that's a blessing, and God is going to bless you for that. He loves when we give to the needy. He loves when we give to each other. He loves when we give to him, like when we sacrifice things and give them to him. When we give our lives to him, when we baptize ourselves, give our lives to him. That's something I still need to do, is baptize myself. Giving is like a big part of being on this earth. Learning to give out of your heart, not because you're looking for something in return. 24 is an emotional maturity, an emotional intelligence thing. I would say don't be quick to anger. It says that in the Bible. Be slow to anger. Like, don't do that. Don't even try to get angry. Like, you have every right to be angry, but to be quick in response and quick in that angry emotion, you're not going to be able to have a healthy conversation. You're not going to see clearly, and it's just not something that I would advise anybody that's younger than me to partake in. It's really important to learn emotions and learn like why you're getting upset, and be able to communicate that before you just start blurting out things that you don't mean. So instead of blurting out stuff that you don't mean, you can say, hey, like, this conversation is getting a little tough and I just don't really know how to respond right now. At least you're letting that person know that you're struggling, and that person can be more receptive. Whereas you could say when you're upset and quick to anger, I don't give a, I'm so, you don't, you could cuss them out, right? But that's not going to be great for the situation. That's going to scar people and it's going to traumatize your relationship. I wouldn't advise. Number 24, I would definitely say pour into yourself so that you can pour into others. I definitely don't think it's a selfish trait. It's just having boundaries. When you're able to balance, do that moderation thing, you know, take care of yourself, then you can spend time with your family or help, you know, people with projects, and, you know, spend extra time on, you know, your family or friends, whatever. You can't run on an empty cup. As long as you have water in your cup, you can pour that water into somebody else's. Make sure your cup is filled with water at all times, because once you're empty, you know, that's a boundary. Now I gotta fill my cup up again. I gotta be filled with water so that I can fill other people's with water, if that makes sense. Number 25, definitely travel a lot, laugh a lot, and create a lot of memories. Traveling is something that I really enjoy doing, and you know, if you're not a fan of traveling, I get it, but I would definitely say test yourself, put yourself out there, challenge yourself to go and see the world, because the world is so beautiful. Your little city ain't nothing compared to what God put on this earth. So definitely go enjoy, go with people you love, go by yourself, you know, be safe though, but the world is beautiful. Cherish life while you can. You don't know how long you have on this earth, and as long as you don't know, live every day like it's your last if you can. And I know we don't always do that. I don't always do that, because today, if today is my last day, Jesus help me, because this wasn't the day. It's hot. Y'all hot? Because I'm hot. It's hot as hell in here. Anyway, okay, for real, that is the 25 things that I have learned at 25 years old. And there's so much more, but I think I really did cover the basics of things that I would truly want people to know. I forgot to do like romance relationships. I forgot. So maybe I'll do like, 10 things that I learned about love at 25 years old. So let me know if you guys want to see that. If you made it to the end, I am so entirely grateful for you, and I thank you so much for just being here with me, girl. And if you are younger than me, you have so much life ahead of you, and I'll just pray that you took these tips and you stored them in your heart and the person that you grow to be. And yeah, I love you, and let me know what else y'all want to see. Your girl is trying, okay? All right, guys, talk to you later. Bye.
The sun is shining, it's a new